Hi guys, Hugh here from the Builder's Office. We're sitting here with Dean and we're going to throw into the second part of the episode that we've been going through, talking about all things exciting working in rural environments and how these guys have actually worked their business to be more suited to helping people in these environments and even to the point of their sustainability stuff as well. So hope you guys have enjoyed the first episode, and the second one coming up now is going to help you be able to get what you're really wanting from your project. So thanks, guys. Here we go.
Hey, what's going on with the house? That's the relationship that we have. Of course you're going to get clients that you've got a great relationship and you finish the house and you don't really have anything to do with each other. But you might have other clients where we can go around and have a coffee with them. And for us, if that happens, it happens occasionally. But we can go there and know that, hey, they're still enjoying the house. So it was successful, and I'm not going to put my hand up and say that's been 100% success rate. Some of the bigger failures are some of the breakdowns with clients. Yes. And we use those failures and those lessons to basically change things. And safe to say, we just haven't had any bad relationships with clients now. So I think that's obviously working pretty well.
The times that we've had the relationship breakdowns or divorces, we can call
exactly. You are kind of married to your client, aren't you?
You definitely are. You spend a lot of time working through a lot of stuff, and when things do go bad, I know that I've found myself spending a lot of time on what's actually gone wrong and just going, how can we do something to be able to make sure that, one, it doesn't happen again, but if it does happen, what can we do to facilitate things to be a lot better? And I know, like all of us, we've all had a challenging client. We've all had the times where we've been had a client that's been that angry that we've been the sounding board because we have been the person standing right there. And they're losing it. And the learnings that we get, and I guess you could say some of the times we see some, and we've spoken about this, we see some builders that aren't taking the learnings and they're just like, no, this is the way it's always done, and the way that they talk to clients can be downright rude and obnoxious, and because they're just like, no, I'm doing this for me. This isn't your project. This is mine. And you sort of see that, and I know I've worked for builders like that, and I've always said, I don't want to be like that.
No, exactly.
At all. Because we want our clients to be loving what's going on and smiling at the end of the job, and be able to stand there and take those photos afterwards where we're all hugging, going, this is amazing. And I know that there's, I actually know of a couple of builders that through the coaching group that I've been doing work with for the last 5 years, through that group and the networking that we've done there's been a few builders in there that have...
It's not Doomsday, by the way.
It's not Doomsday.
The fire station.
That's the fire station. That's brilliant. Love country towns for that
Good
sort
timing.
of thing. It's awesome. But the one of the coolest things that I saw with the relationships that they did build with their clients, and because they were delivering so much value to all their clients, that what they'd end up getting is they'd end up delivering a house and they'd do a handover. And doing that handover was a party. And so they'd invite not only all the family of the people that the house was for, but they'd also invite previous clients. And then upcoming clients or prospective clients and that sort of thing to come and view what was going on, see what.
That's a great idea.
Happening.
Might have to maybe have a look at something myself for that. That's fantastic.
And I love that sort of thing, because at the end of the day, you being able to do that sort of thing delivers what you're going to see every single day. And then like being able to produce something and just have a client that's sitting there raving about what's going on, and then to say, hey, we had trades that worked on our house come and celebrate with us getting into our house, and being able to say, hey, well, what do you think of this? What do you think of this? What do you think of that? As they're completing it, and that sort of thing is brilliant, and that's the sort of thing that I strive for, that sort of thing. And it all comes down to those wonderful relationships that we can have, and building a house It's you're married to someone for an extended period of time.
I'm glad you use that, because I've always used that terminology for clients, just explaining that from early days, that we are going to basically have a marriage.
Yep.
We're going to have an intimate relationship. You know, we're in talking about your future bathrooms and bedrooms and the way you're going to live, the way you're going to cook, finances, talk about maybe your pressures and stresses and, you know, like little things that you always want to communicate. You know, you don't want clients moving out of a house, for example, to do a renovation extension like this too early, because, you know, there might be a delay in a building permit that, you know, let's face it, it happens more often than not. It does. So you want to make sure that your communication and your professionalism's there, because you don't want to just be like, we're planning on starting in August.
Yep.
But then that doesn't happen until, it can happen in February next year.
Yes.
And the client spent 6 months rent extra, straight away, like that marriage relationship, just stressed.
Yep.
You know, so these things all happen. I think like the points you made, like at the end of the day, I know from our side of things, like our clients know that they're choosing a builder that's set up in a professional way. You know, we're pretty open about what we've got on and how we approach things. And you're getting Darren or myself, you know, we know each job that's priced intimately. We do it ourselves. You know, and there's things in the business that's, you know, run by maybe a supervisor, James, that mainly runs a lot of on-site stuff for us these days. But, you know, at the end of the day, like, your client should, in this, I suppose, current climate, be really looking for, okay, what's the best builders, like, fit for me for a builder, and how professional are they going to be? Because, you know, we even spoke before about getting approached by people with volume builders, and not naming names, but we've all been approached by, you know, same sort of clientele from the same volume builder that's no longer around. And, you know, we kind of have processes that even if we wanted to or could fit those things into our pipeline, that, you know, we've got professional, you know, parts of our business, the way we operate and set up. And that starts from, you know, inquiry, pre-construction, all the way through planning and costings. So, you know, I think that education as well, if clients are getting that, they're understanding that, well, I don't just need to flip some plans out there and pick from a random bunch. Because how successful is that going to be sometimes? You might get lucky, but, you know, 9 times out of 10, you're running the gauntlet, aren't you?
Oh, well and truly. And with how many builders, I was actually speaking to somebody recently about how many builders, actually it might have been in a previous episode, I was chatting with Toby, and we were talking about how many builders there are just in Victoria, and I can't remember the exact number, but it's up there in the many tens of thousands.
Yeah.
And so there is a lot of choice when it comes to it. Choosing a builder isn't the easiest thing in the world to do, but being able to provide some education for prospective clients and being able to sort of offer it freely. There's not a lot of builders that are doing that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And being able to say, okay, well, this is the way that we work. This is how we have found has been the best way to be able to deliver projects for you, because it is based on the client experience. It certainly changes the whole dynamic. And going into something that I was just thinking of was how many clients and how much do they actually come to us. And I've experienced this recently where somebody has come to us and they've started saying things like they know us intimately already, because they've seen a lot of our content, they've seen a lot of the things that we do talk about and how we do discuss things, and how we are providing that information without asking for anything.
Yeah.
We don't want anything from providing the information. We want you to be able to succeed, irrespective of whether you speak to us or not.
Yeah.
And it was really interesting. I don't know if you've experienced it, where you do get that person that comes on, they know you intimately, and you're sitting there just going, hold on a second. That's awesome. Yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
But okay, let's get to know you.
Yeah. It happened to me at my daughter's netball game last week. She's like, "Oh, Dean, I've watched your stuff. I've seen you everywhere." And it's like, oh, "Sorry, who are you?" It's, you know, but that's it working. And, you know, you obviously got people that are engaged and listening, and, you might hear someone that's going to flick past you, and okay, well, you got to connect with people.
Yep.
You're not going to connect with everyone. You want to attract, like-minded people.
Yes.
In all walks of life. Like, we're big on surrounding ourselves with good people. I think that starts as well. Like, if you've got clients coming in and, we're not necessarily going to be a good fit for you.
Yep.
And you're not going to be necessarily a good fit for us. That's just human nature. So I think, we're big on, just trying to be true to ourselves.
Yep.
And, it is marketing, obviously. We all market. But it's marketing like to basically showcase who we are.
Yes.
And if you don't like us, and that could be in any walk of life.
Yes.
Well, no worries.
That's
okay.
That's fine.
That's okay. We don't, everyone in the world isn't going to be buddy and stuff. That's not the way the world works.
Yep.
But, even if we can put something out there, just like you're doing with the podcast and your building business, if you put something out there and you can teach someone something,
yep,
awesome. You feel like, I know for us, like if we've got, could be a tradie or another builder, or it could be a client just ask a question, that aren't going to build with you, and if you can maybe provide some information, whether that's answering a question or you've put a video up or you've done a podcast episode, and someone can learn something, like that makes you feel great, and I think that's definitely a good part of where we're at with this industry that's getting better, and I think in another few years, like as I feel like there's probably that bit of a generational change with building at the moment.
Yep.
That's coming into the new age kind of sitting here. We've got the technology and the good raps and stuff like that.
Yep.
Like it's definitely a changing landscape.
It is.
And I think by you doing your episodes with trying to educate clients, if you've got even one person that listens to this, it goes, bang, this is how I'm going to go about things, because that made sense to me. Well, you've done it for a reason, haven't you? So but I think that starts from good communication and transferring that to whatever outlets you're using. And your networking. Yeah.
Well, jumping onto the networking side of things, with COVID, and this is even going into that generational difference now. COVID changed so much in the building industry, in every industry, going to spending a lot of time in front of computer screens or on our phones, where we are talking to people through video and working out contracts through video and all those different mediums. But the networking that we actually got from being able to do that and connecting a lot more builders together.
Yep.
I've noticed a huge change in the industry. Might only be small change at the moment, but I feel it's a huge change because if you look at that generational difference between the builders of 5 years ago, just 5 years ago, it really comes back to that. Okay, well, we've got guys that weren't talking before 5 years ago. The groups of builders were very small. They weren't talking to each other. They weren't finding out what other people are experiencing. But a lot of the time during COVID, all these guys started going, how do I make my business survive? How do I improve my business? How do I get these government grants to be able to survive and also deliver projects for clients? There's been a huge shift in the way that these guys are operating, and so getting onto the networking, so many of us started talking more and more and more about, okay, what are we doing that's either is working or isn't working, and whether we can actually survive the storm at the moment. And it's certainly opened up so many different avenues, and I think that it's been so beneficial to the point for every client, because if you've got builders that are sitting around and they're having conversations like we're having at the moment, and we're talking about what's going on and who our ideal clients are and what our ideal projects are, that be able to make it so that we can deliver the best for our clients. It's certainly changed it, because we know that, okay, well, for me, my California bungalows, I love them. That's my ideal project, and we get a lot of contacts from people just for that, because that's what we like to do. Now, I might not do modern homes, but because of the network that we do have, if somebody contacts me and they're an outlier, but they love what we do, then we know, okay, well, may not be our ideal project, but we can look at it. We might be able to help you, but we might also know someone who might be better suited to be able to help you. And we can give those referrals comfortably because we've had the discussions with these guys. We know the way that they operate. And if they are operating in a similar way to us, then you're still going to be able to deliver and get a really good result from that sort of thing.
It's pretty deep, the networking, isn't it? Like, I know, we've been able to give details out to designers or other builders for, like, maybe a designer looking for a builder or a builder looking for a designer in other states.
Yes.
Not here, like in the Massive Ranges with our, 8 to 10,000 populated towns, but like South Australia, New South Wales, Queensland.
I was actually doing that yesterday.
Yeah, and that's the power of this, like, networking and I suppose the community that is doing it. Like, it is a real community.
It is.
And, it's funny who you say before, like, I don't know about you, like, we talk about this all the time with our team as well, and you can actually, like, legitimately almost physically feel the change between now and 5 years ago. Like, you can actually feel getting on and talking with, there's guys who do business development with, and we do something similar with another group as well, and that's powerful. And we know that like even sharing documents around, there's guys that have shared documents with us from your group, and I've shared documents around with other people. We're competitors in one way, but what are we actually competing on? Like, this every street you drive down, generally there's one project or one house or one renovation or new build going on, or a commercial development or something around. So, like, I don't actually think we're competing, like, for steal each other's work, or, hey, we're going to give this guy a leg up, that's going to disadvantage us. It's actually, I think we're all, like, levelling up to kind of make each other better.
Yeah, for sure.
And I know that's definitely the case. Like, we been networking with guys, from even Instagram platforms, and, a couple of months ago we went up to the Passive House conference up in Sydney, and we actually met a few people that we'd just been talking to for a few years, and sit there, shake hands, chat, have a proper face-to-face chat. You kind of already know, like, you feel like you know them, but you walk away from events like that, and I know you've just been up to an event up in Darwin with your group, and you walk away from those things and you're automatically better than you were before you got there. And I feel like, we're all talking about clients, but I feel we definitely are open about what we're doing. Because I've got, clients, even our client for here is high up in the energy sector, and, he's openly talked to us about he's got, a coach, like a CEO coach kind of thing. So, it's not just building. Like, people have support networks and network all over the world. And I feel like it's kind of crazy. We're only just, like, that networking in the building industry in this country is only really kind of in an infancy stage. It's not really that old. So
that's right.
I think that'll see, hopefully people catch up. And if you're not networking, if that's a message for builders or something listening out there, or people thinking about building, just get out there and bloody network. It's powerful.
And it's funny because a couple of weeks ago I sat down and had a chat with Katie Rees, the home build mentor. There's coaches for people that want to build. So that sort of thing, it really is really beneficial. And don't be afraid to ask a builder, do you have a coach? Right? And if they do, you're probably going to be onto a winner.
Absolutely.
Right? Because they're actively doing something to improve their business, not for themselves. They're improving it for their clients. And when you're getting that improvement for clients, how much better does business actually go?
Well, I mean, I think one thing for clients to look out for, like, if you're dealing with a building company, whether it's a one-man band or like Darren and myself, we're brothers and a duo, and generally speaking, we've all come from a trade background, right? I would honestly say to clients, if your builder hasn't come from a trade background,
it's scary. Run away.
It can be scary. But I mean, I'm not going to tar everyone with the same brush. There's great builders out there who have come from